All right. Advice for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Advice for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Advice for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising. Capricorns, your emotions have been getting the best of you. They really want you to control it and go more into a logical mind because you're kind of ruled by logical minds. Like Capricorns are very known to have plans to really focus on that. But I just feel like your emotions are getting the best of you, and Spirit's saying, like, be patient. Things are going to work out. Try to gain control over your emotions at this time. And if you can't really focus on the logical side of things, okay? Aquarius, advice for Aquarius, advice for Aquarius, advice for Aquarius, Spirit, advice for Aquarius. What do my Aquariuses need to know? Advice for Aquariuses, advice for Aquariuses. Aquariuses, ooh, you guys have been going through some challenging times. Whatever this is, Spirit is saying the advice here is just to stay confident and to really focus on what Spirit's trying to teach you at this time. So if you're hitting roadblocks, if you're hitting challenges, if you're dealing with conflict, especially from other people like peers, colleagues, coworkers, if you're dealing with conflict and like people just being like verbally mean or aggressive to you, what can you learn from this situation? Because there is a lesson here in regards to discipline, but also like a lesson in having confidence in self. Don't take other people's narratives as your own, okay? Pisces, advice for Pisces, please. Advice for Pisces, please. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces, please. Thank you guys so much for the likes, for the shares, for the reposts. I appreciate you. Advice for Pisces, please. Advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces, Pisces. It's taking a while for advice for Pisces. Advice for Pisces, please. Yeah, Pisces. Here's the thing. You guys have been trying to play it super cool, but you know something's coming emotionally and you're just trying to prepare for it. It almost feels like there is no advice, but just to kind of lay low, stay grounded, journal if you can at this time, because there's a new cycle that's about to burst open. What they want you to focus on is like stubbornness. Take a look at who's being stubborn around you. If you're being stubborn with the situation, kind of let it go. But right now it's just kind of like a stage of observation. Wait, because better things are actually coming. They're just around the corner for you guys, okay? Taurus, for Taurus, advice for Taurus, please. Advice for Taurus, please. Advice for Taurus. What do my Tauruses need to know? Advice for my Tauruses. Advice for my Tauruses. Taurus, yeah. Here's the thing, Tauruses, you're starting to really pay attention to how you can really focus on that coin, like how you can really build something. So Tauruses could be looking at going into business for themselves. They could be switching careers at this time. But realistically, they're setting a lot of boundaries with the people around them because they're no longer allowing themselves to be emotionally manipulated by others. So Taurus is like standing on business in regards to that, okay? Yep. You snooze, you lose. Hey, Cindy. Gemini. I'll be posting on my YT later. Gemini. Advice for Gemini, Spirit. Advice for Gemini. Advice for Gemini. Gemini, self-help books are going to be very beneficial for you right now. It almost feels like Spirit's trying to get you to see that, you know, a little bit of self-care, but this has to do with mental health. Like it almost feels like learning, mastering, you know, self-development here. So Geminis, you would do really well as to reading self-development books right now, starting a journaling practice. This is about really repairing what has mentally been damaged for so long and taking a hard look at it because you deserve better than what you've been through, what you're putting up with, and where you're headed. So in order to course correct, we have to do concept work, which means we need to gain the knowledge in order to start putting theory into practice, right? So right now I see it's really important for Geminis to gather all the theories that they can, read the books, listen to the podcasts, like absorb all the resources in regards to how do you live a better life, right? How do you work on your mental health in order to improve your thought patterns, your habits, your productivity, okay? So that's the advice for Gemini. And that makes sense with the Jupiter transits that are happening in the summer. Cancer, turn around the energy, please. Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Advice for Cancer. Where are my moderators? I'm not seeing my moderators posting. Do I even have moderators in the room? Cancers. Here's the thing, Cancers. It's almost like I feel like you're not being affected so much right now, which is very interesting because Cancers are usually affected by energies like this. But Cancers are kind of like, I'm going to make some like definitive choices in the next week. And I know things are going to work out in my favor. So Cancers are really stepping into a place of having faith in one's own ability, oneself, and really making the difficult choices to not allow others to really dictate how they're going to live their life. So I really like that. Clearing ground. Thanks, Mel. Clearing ground the energy, please. Clearing ground the energy. For Leos. Hi, Mara. For Leos. Advice for Leos, please. Advice for Leos. Advice for Leos. Advice for Leos, Spirit. Advice for Leos. Advice for Leos. Advice for Leos. Here's the thing, Leos, it's really important for you to focus on your finances right now because it's almost like there's some sort of situation here, especially if it has to do with loans, mortgages, stuff like that. There's something here. And again, this could be collective too because the full moon was in Leo, but there is an activation here about stress in regards to finances and institutions here. So this could be like loans. This could be paying off student debt, but it almost feels like there is a clarity that is coming with the full moon, especially if you're Leos. It's like right now I'm seeing a crow. There's like a transformative phase when it comes to your finances and clarity on how to do that. But it almost feels like you've been kind of praying for like a breakthrough, praying for like to alleviate some of the stress here. For others, this is breakthroughs in clairvoyance. So if you've been working on your spiritual gifts, there's a breakthrough with that as well. Okay. Virgo, advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo, please. Advice for Virgo, please. Advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo, please. Advice for Virgo. Advice for Virgo, please. There we go. Yeah. So Virgo, it's really important. And this makes sense with the South Node being in your sign. It's really important right now for you to get really serious about what it is you need to feel fulfilled in life, because there are a lot of things that are being released from your life. There's a lot that you have no control. You have to release it. You have to let it go. People, places, things. And it's been kind of a roller coaster ride for you guys. Now you guys need to still hang in there because again, the nodes don't shift until July. So you still have a little bit of that nodal shift happening. But it almost feels like mentally you've been going through it. And because of it, there's just like a little bit of chaos and confusion. And Spirit just kind of wants you to like really sit with yourself and trust what it is you're getting, because there are a lot of downloads. Virgos are becoming extremely psychic at this time. Okay. So don't sleep on what your Virgo friends are telling you, any advice that they may give, because they are getting very psychic at this time. But for Virgos, it's really important for you to work on what it is that you need to feel fulfilled. Everything's falling away for a reason. Things are moving away because it's going to make space for something better. So ask yourself what it is you need to free yourself to feel that sense of childlike wonder, right? And it's basically saying you accepted less in the past. How do we move towards a better future? So figure out what that is. And it's time now to really get grounded and rooted in regards to what it is you want for your future so that you can really make that timeline jump when the shifts happen in the summertime. Realistically, it's going to happen a little early for you guys. I'm really seeing June. Like I see a timeline shift already for June. Figure out what that timeline is. You get to decide, okay? For my Libras, advice for my Libras, advice for my Libras, advice for my Libra Spirit, advice for my Libras. My Libras need to know advice for my Libras. Libras, you've been avoiding a lot here. Libras have been avoiding like people in their lives, and it's because they've been avoiding making the necessary choices that they know they need to take. So this tells me that Libra really cares about somebody. They know they need to release this person, but they're not releasing this person. Again, this can be a best friend, this can be a friend, this can be a lover, this can be a family member, but it almost feels like Libras are aware that they need to set a boundary because there's somebody around them who they value so much, but who keeps crossing boundaries, who keeps taking from them. And Libras are having a very hard time with it. And Spirit's saying, Libras, it's really important. We understand that you love this person, you care about this person, but this person keeps taking from you. And now it's like you need to release this. If they're not going to respect your boundaries, you need to be out of the situation regardless of love. Sometimes you just got to love from a distance, but Spirit is saying, it has to change. It's not changing it. So if you're not changing it, you're choosing it, and you have to sit with yourself because you're praying for something to change. You're not happy with what's happening here. And Spirit's like, well, then you're choosing it. You have to make a verdict now, especially with the eclipse season. Watch how that unfolds. Scorpio, clearing around the energy, please. Advice for Scorpio. 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 Here, Scorpio, it's really important at this time that you really pour into yourself. And if you've been feeling like things have been delayed, or you kind of feel like you're kind of moving in a fog or in a daze, again, Neptune energy. But it's really important that you focus on your confidence at this time, focus on the self-care, the self-love, because I almost feel like there's going to be an opportunity, but there's downloads coming. You just haven't seen it yet, right? Because you want to go, go, go. You're really being pushed to go, go, go. But right now it's about you retreating back and putting in the self-love. Pay attention, observe. This reminds me of the collective read for Scorpios, okay? But it's time to like draw in so that they can give you the downloads. For some of you, I even see like a cold, like a cough. So make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because I do see a cold coming in for you guys. Let's see, advice for my Sagittarius. Advice for my Sagittarius. Last but not least, advice for my Sagittarius. Advice for my Sagittarius, please, Spirit. Advice for my Sagittarius. Advice for my Sagittarius. Advice for my Sagittarius. Sagittarius, it's time to defend yourself. You've been playing small for so long, because you didn't trust what would happen if you rocked the boat. And Sagittarius, it's time for you to enforce your peace and harmony. It's time for you to protect what it is you're building. It's time for you to rock that boat, because guess what? Your fear of rocking that boat has gotten you nowhere. So try something different. It's time to stop playing it small, Sagittarius. And you know what it is because you've been carrying it for so long, and Spirit's saying it's time for you to make a judgment call on this, okay? Because it's time to break free from karma. Because somebody, something, place, or person is holding you back. It's causing a lot of fear and stopping you from doing what it is you truly want to do. So start embracing who you really are and what it is you want to do in life, okay? So I hope